Thank you for watching P356 Blog. My name is Sarah, and it's my goal to show who God is and that He is still at work in our lives today. It is never too late to be an influencer for Jesus. Check out more at p356blog.com. This week in Proverbs chapter 10, we're going to look at wisdom nuggets that are coming two at a time. What that means is you have a contrast between what wisdom brings you and what folly brings you, and they happen back to back to back to back to back to back. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is a sorrow to his mother. Treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but He thwarts the craving of the wicked. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. He who gathers in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps in harvest is a son who brings shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. The memory of the righteous is a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise of heart will receive commandments, but a babbling fool will come to ruin. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. On the lips of him who has understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks sense. The wise lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool brings ruin near. A rich man's wealth is his strong city. The poverty of the poor is their ruin. The wage of the righteous leads to life, the gain of the wicked to sin. Whoever heeds instruction is on the path to life, but he who rejects reproof leads others astray. The one who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver, the heart of the wicked is of little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but the fools die for lack of sense. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and He adds no sorrow with it. Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool, but wisdom is pleasure to a man of understanding. What the wicked dreads will come upon him, but the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the tempest passes, the wicked is no more, but the righteous is established forever. Like vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to those who send him. The fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked will be short. The hope of the righteous brings joy, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to the blameless, but destruction to evildoers. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not dwell in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut off. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked, what is perverse. As always, I love to talk about the wisdom nuggets, as I like to call them, that happen in the book of Proverbs. And specifically, starting in chapter 10, they are one after another, right away. And so what I want to focus on is just a couple of these little wisdom nuggets to think about how we should live our lives and what we should avoid in our lives if we are seeking wisdom. A lot of these verses talk about how you speak, what your mouth is doing. Verse 6 talks about the mouth of the wicked concealing violence. Verse 8, that a babbling fool will come to ruin. Verse 10, that a babbling fool will come to ruin. Again, verse 11, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life. Verse 14, the mouth of a fool brings ruin near. Verse 18, the one who conceals hatred has lying lips. Verse 19, when words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. Verse 20, the tongue of the righteous is choice silver. Verse 21, the lips of the righteous feed many. Verse 31, the mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, the perverse tongue will be cut off. Verse 32, the lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked what is perverse. So there's so many verses just in chapter 10 that talk about our mouths, how we speak, what our lips are doing, what our tongue is doing. And I think that that is so applicable to what we are doing today. Because again, what God says in the Bible then is who He is now. And so if we're trying to apply this to our lives today, in a world where you can say anything to anyone and it is instantly shared across the entire world. We have so much power in the words that we say, and we have a stage and a platform to share it with the entire world, no matter what form of social media that you're on, or whether you're on YouTube, or whether you're writing a blog or tweeting, or sharing your thoughts anywhere that you are having a voice. Are we using it as a babbling fool, or are we using it as somebody who is righteous, somebody who is bringing forth wisdom? Are we doing what is acceptable, or are we doing what we feel is right in the heat of the moment, and then we turn into the unrighteous, and we wind up slandering and hating and sharing that with the world? So I love that these specific verses are little wisdom nuggets that really stand out. What you're saying and how you interact with the world really does matter, and we should be thinking about that as we're seeking wisdom. So the key verse that I want to focus on today is verse 19. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. When there are a lot of words being said, transgression is not lacking, meaning it is very easy to cause strife with people, to cause problems with people, the more that we talk instead of just sitting there to listen. It says whoever restrains his lips is prudent, meaning that when you are careful about what you say, you are quick to listen and slow to speak, as James says, but we are focusing on what other people are saying and listening to them and not reacting, but responding to what they've said, then we have the ability to share wisdom and gain wisdom from others. I really love this chapter because there are so many verses, one after another, contrasting living by the Spirit in wisdom and living by the flesh and following the world and turning into babbling fools. And if you relate this back to Genesis with the Tower of Babel, those were a bunch of babbling fools trying to see themselves as better than God instead of listening to what he had to say about how to live their lives. And so we can learn from that back in Genesis. We can learn from it in Proverbs. We can learn from it in James. And maybe we need to just sit back and listen for a moment instead of sharing every single thought that's on our mind. And then maybe, just maybe, God will give us some wisdom into the situations that we are trying to get some wisdom in. So that is Proverbs chapter 10. I hope that you were able to pull one little wisdom nugget out of there that you can apply to your life this week. And I hope that you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week on Weekly Wisdom. Bye.